Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us today to run through My Secure Messages, a newer feature that we have available for customers called email registration. Gloria Fruit, my colleague and fellow product manager here, introduced me earlier. I am the product manager for My Secure Messages. Work closely with our development software team, both mobile and web and server, as well as our VP of software, our customer service department, our project managers, as well as trainers, and then of course with our customers and soon-to-be customers. So receiving a lot of different input from a lot of different people and people in different areas, which helps us. So please reach out with any questions or feature recommendations, requests, etc. We love to hear it, and it really does matter. So this is a quick 30-minute webinar today. I'm going to try to stay on task. Here's the agenda. I'm going to give an overview of what email registration is. Real quickly, it was introduced in server version 6.6. So that's My Secure Messages, or MSM, server version 6.6. That was over a year ago now that it's been released, and this is a new feature of that server version. Why did we introduce it? To save time with onboarding your app users for both you as well as your end users, whether those are clients or employees, staff, etc. So the process that we have by default is entering in an account ID and then either creating or matching a username and password, and potentially passcode as well. That process does not always go smoothly, even if you try to make it simple, just because of user error, miscommunications, etc. And a lot of times the admins of the My Secure Messages solution are not even in the same location as the end users. So we really sat down with our customers and thought, what can we do to make this easier? What would be the best way? And we introduced HTML email registration capabilities last year, again in server version 6.6. It's going to save both you and your end users time, energy, frustration. It's going to give them a really good user experience and first impression, and really help with that buy-in, because you need that continued usage. You can't just say, this is the way it is, deal with it. I mean, that may work, but it's always easier when they like to use it, right? We will run through requirements, sorry about that, configuration and the supporting documentation, the features of the email registration feature, questions and support. So who you can contact if you're trying to implement this for your organization and you're running into issues. Where do you turn? What documentation do we have readily available? And then at the end, if there were any questions submitted via the GoToMeeting chat box during the webinar, as Gloria referenced, we will cover those at the end as well. This webinar is being recorded, and our intent is to provide this via Tech Helper eventually as a recording and a resource for others to be able to watch and learn from this webinar as well. So email registration, what is it? So we covered it a little bit, that the default method of registration, as well as the way that we've provided registration to take place up until 6.6, was tedious and cumbersome. It was a necessary evil, but it left room for frustration, for user error, etc. So again, over a year ago, we introduced what we call email registration as a feature. It is available as an optional feature on a per group basis via your admin web, and we're going to go through how to set it up and everything. It's used to register users using My Secure Messages on Android and Apple, so using the MSM app on smart devices. So contact web users, you'll still have to send them a link for their contact web or their web version of the My Secure Messages app. And you're going to find that this method of registration is going to save significant time. Whether you're new to My Secure Messages or you've been on it for a while, this webinar is definitely worth your time. So the steps for registration. First of all, let me back up and I'm going to show you a document that I'm going to be referencing heavily and looking at myself. And it is found on Tech Helper. So if you go to service.amtelco.com, you're going to be asked to log in with your customer ID and PIN. And then there's this MSM header in the nav bar. So quick, easy access. Just click on that. Scroll down. If you don't know what your login is for Tech Helper, let us know. Just email service@amtelco.com. I'm sure they can help you out with what your login is. Here's that email registration setup guide. This also opens up to a PDF, and I could send it to people after this webinar as well. Here it is. And again, you can save this to your computer. You can print it out. So here's the email registration document. It's a beautiful document that our team worked hard on to help walk you through configuring the email registration settings that you're going to need to fill out in the My Secure Messages admin web in order for you to be able to use this feature. So real quickly, if you've got your Tech Helper login and you want to go here and print it out or make note of the link, service.amtelco.com. Also at the end, there's a troubleshooting section. This is also a very helpful section to run through and to not forget about if you're printing it out or sending it to your team. So after you set it up, if you get certain errors, it tells you what those errors mean and what to do about them. And then, of course, we provide contact information for getting a hold of us if you need help. So scooting along, and here's that contact information too, in case anybody needs to jet before 12:30 Central. So the steps for email registration, after you configure those email settings in the admin web, and you've tested it and it works and everything, so what's it going to be like for end users to register with the My Secure Messages app using this feature? Well, with mobile device management software, that's what MDM stands for. I put this in parentheses because not everybody has this kind of software, and what it does is control what end users are able to do with their iPhone as a whole, for example, at the OS level, or their Android device as a whole. Like they can't access the Pictures app, or they can't download Facebook or certain things like that. MDM software helps admins regulate all these smart devices that are probably running around their organizations at the OS level. So again, some organizations have this software and some don't. That's why I put it in parentheses. If you do have MDM software, trying to think of the more common ones, but what it can do also is help remotely install applications on those mobile devices so that the user effectively doesn't have to worry about downloading an app and that being another step in the process. So just cutting out another step, placing that app on the mobile device for them. And then without MDM, they would need to somehow download the My Secure Messages app, and we have suggestions for that. Once they have the My Secure Messages app downloaded, and again, you can make that part of the steps and you can make that part of the email instructions that you send out, and we do have templates and suggested templates to help with this. So if they don't have the app, it's going to prompt them to download it. And once they've downloaded it, as per the instructions will say in the email, I'm sure, that you send out to your users, or in the template, it says this as well. To go back to the email, tap on the registration link, then it's going to launch the MSM app and ask them to update their password. And that's it. So they receive an email. Let me skip forward to sample email so you can see what that might look like. And here's the link to the setup guide as well. You can insert logos, images. You can edit this information, and in fact, on the next screen I show a different version of the registration email. And you can see that we did put a picture, our My Secure Messages logo, which, stay tuned, is going to be updated later this summer. It's put in here. You can put your own logo in here, or this is set up on a per group basis, so this could be your client's logo or your organization's logo or the department, etc. It's all customizable. You get to decide what it's going to say, and then we have link inserts that are going to help with crafting that registration email, guiding users to the appropriate places on the server to take care of registering and linking to the correct place. So really easy. You just do like insert registration link and then plop, and you can edit what it's going to say for both the link and the plain text. Insert images. And here it says, if you have not downloaded the My Secure Messages app yet, the link above will direct you to download the app on your mobile device. After you download it, return to this email, tap on the link again, then the MSM app is going to launch, and it asks them to update their password, and that's it. So no needing to enter account ID, username, password, admin password, etc. You've really cut out a lot of steps, time, room for error, and you've been able to make a great first impression with both the app as well as your role in the organization, your relationship with them, and their first experience with My Secure Messages, probably. As you've probably noticed, this email registration settings area that we've, in theory, set up by now can be leveraged for resetting passwords, as well as registering secondary devices. So if somebody gets a new phone or an additional smart device or something, so you can have different templates that are used on a per group basis for each of those different scenarios. You can have your users reset their password from an email. So if they contact you, instead of you needing, previously the admin needed to update it to, something that you can tell the user, hey, I changed it to XYZ, log in with that, and then change it yourself. No, now you can send them a link and they can update it themselves. And you don't have to be involved in that process beyond that. Just spitting out an email to them, clicking a button. So we covered what the steps would be. It's very, very easy. Again, the biggest part is for them to install the MSM app. And from there, really, they just click on a link. It opens up the app, says, please update your password, and they can start messaging with everybody else who's registered to their group as well. And once you've programmed it, their ID into your Amtelco system, you can communicate with them from that directory as well as the on-call, the scripting, MergeCom, everything. And it natively integrates with that. We develop all of those applications in-house and support them 24/7. The requirements. So obviously you need MSM Server version 6.6. Most customers are already on this version. If you're not sure, reach out to us, ask us. We'll make sure you get the information you need. And if you need any help with setting up the email registration, you do need mail server information to utilize. So again, when we're taking a look at this document that steps you through with beautiful pictures what you need to do to configure, you've got area for email server information. So if you have a network person on your team that knows about your organization's email, talk with them and tell them that you need these settings, and they'll be able to help you. And if you have any questions, let us know. Trainers. You can reach the trainers with a single email, trainers@amtelco.com. That's going to go out to all the trainers. So you could ask them a question, it gets sent out to all the trainers, and the trainer will reply to you. You could also ask your salesperson if you have a question about, hey, do you guys have this feature available? Is it something I need to purchase, etc.? Any questions for your salesperson? Your project manager is a great resource as well to discuss your needs, your wants, overall goals. Of course, service at amtelco.com. Call them if it's urgent. My support at amtelco.com, that goes specifically to the My Secure Messages support team, and it's more of a non-critical email distribution list. If you have any idea submissions, we want to hear about them. Again, either through your project manager, email anybody at Amtelco, and we're always recruiting for a beta customer team. So you can be involved in that development process with giving us feedback on what you like, what you don't like, how things are working for you, what your thoughts are, and getting a first look at releases before they're given to customers en masse. It can be put on a test server so you don't have to roll it into production right away. And by the time we're beta testing, it's gone through the entire alpha testing process in-house. So let us know if you would like to be a part of that. Our next My Secure Messages release is coming at the end of this summer. So I would expect by the beginning of September, we would have MSM Server version 6.7. And we have an upcoming webinar talking about that, as well as all the features in MSM Server version 6.6 that was released last year. There are some other features and benefits that haven't really been leveraged yet that are making customers smile every day now. And we love to show you all of them and discuss them with you. We have a few minutes left for questions. I'm going to check the chat box and see if any questions were submitted. I'm also going to unmute my colleagues. Oh, sorry about that. Gloria, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I'm not seeing any questions right now. I did want to mention tomorrow we have another webinar. It's called What is New in 5.4, and it will be presented at 1 p.m. Central Time. So Chris Bach, who is our software engineer, will be going through all the new features in our new Soft Agent 5. Or IS 5.4 version. Then
Great.
next Thursday, July 18th, Colleen's going to be doing another My Secure webinar on what's new, and that's at noon Central Time. And then the other webinar in July is Genesis reporting and charting. So Kevin Beal and Gunther from our software engineer, will be presenting that, and that's at 1 p.m. on July 24th. So if you haven't registered and if you're interested, please do so.
Great. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, we're going to make a huge effort to do more of these webinars as frequently as possible to get the word out about our new releases and all the cool new features that we really want you to be able to take advantage of. So we will be doing more My Secure Messages webinars. This one was recorded. I'm seeing a few people just popped in. If you missed this, don't worry. The main document that we went over is accessible from Tech Helper. service.amtelco.com. Don't know your login? Contact us. No problem. MSM, email registration setup guide. This is a PDF that you can download, distribute, give to your networking person that can help you with the port information and all of that lovely stuff. And let's see here. That's about it. I mean, that's the main part. And then this webinar was recorded, so we're going to make this recording available as well. So you'll be able to watch it again, and we'll do it another time as well.
Well, thank you so much, Colleen, and thank you everybody for joining us today. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you much.